Do you know if there's an integer between 3 and 4? If you do, then you possess the ability to travel through time and space. This genius mathematician firmly believed that there was an integer between 3 and 4. As soon as he could find that number, humanity would be able to travel through time and space and enter the true four-dimensional realm. But everyone thought he was insane. The mathematician was forcibly locked in a mental hospital. One day, Dr. George brought a jar of jelly beans with him. He wanted the mathematician to use the jelly beans to prove the existence of that integer. The mathematician placed 3 jelly beans on the table, but when he was about to place the 4th, he fell into deep thought. Just as the mathematician was on the verge of breaking down, George interrupted him immediately and denied the mathematician's hypothesis. At that moment, the mathematician completely lost control of his emotions. He wanted to continue testing his hypothesis with paper and pen, but George refused to let him. When the mathematician left, he secretly picked up the jelly beans that had fallen on the floor. Then he was locked back in room 304. As George was riding the elevator down to leave for the day, he realized that the time it took to travel from the 4th floor to the 3rd was the shortest. He began to think that maybe there really was an integer between 3 and 4. When George got home, he started going through the mathematician's notes. The mathematician believed that humans, just like ants, are trapped within the limits of their perception of space. If we can find the integer between 3 and 4, humanity will be able to break free from the 3rd dimension and reach the 4th dimension. George couldn't find the correct answer, so he went to a bar to relax. But at that moment, the peanuts on the table suddenly cracked open in an eerie way. In his surprise, George suddenly saw the mathematician writing formulas on the glass. George immediately ran outside to check, but by the time he got there, the mathematician had disappeared. When George returned home, he received a phone call from the hospital. The nurse asked George to come to the hospital. She told him the mathematician had suddenly disappeared from room 304, but the door to the room had always been locked. When George pushed open the door, he saw the walls covered in mathematical formulas, and the mathematician was indeed gone. Had the mathematician traveled through time because he discovered that integer?